About three years ago, Chuck Colson produced a film series by that same title, Doing the Right Thing. That I got to be a part of two of the episodes that were in the film series, and then this was a book that Colson himself had intended to write, and unfortunately he went home to be with the Lord before he could even get word one on paper of the book. And so about 2 years ago, Zondervan and the Colson Center asked me if I would consider being the guy to sort of finish off the project. And so my goal for producing the book was to make it a book that Chuck would have been proud of. The book's intended to be a companion to the film series. And as is the case with any kind of book and movie, the book always brings out more than you can possibly cover in the movie. What we're trying to do one main thing in the book, and that's to defend the idea that there is such a thing as objective morality. And so that we try to make the case that we're in a huge mess in terms of ethics, but the way out is to recognize that there is such a thing as objective moral law, and that's completely independent of how we feel about it. And if God has given us morality, then how we feel about it is not really relevant. That doesn't affect the truth of that. And then, so if there's a moral law that we all can know, then is it possible for human beings to do this? To be in adherence to it? And we try to make the argument that yes, it is, and that it is possible to have virtue apart from a saving relationship to God, but that what Christian faith specifically adds to this is really significant. And then we apply morality to the domains of medicine, the marketplace, and then the last chapter has to do with government and public life, which was a real love of Colson's. And he wanted to make the point that government, too, was bound to morality and could actually be an instrument of good, an instrument of moral good in the world. So we spend a lot of time on the details of the ethical dilemmas in medicine and the marketplace. Those I think are pretty stimulating chapters. It doesn't take much of a look in the newspaper to figure out how those are relevant. A lot of people ask when they see the book and the film series together. They say, "Well, if I've seen the film, do I need to read the book? Or if I've read the book, do I need to look at the film series?" And I think there's both of those are important, and one sort of paves the way for the other. Because the book will bring out things that the film just doesn't have time to do. And what the film does is it gives you something the book can't do. It gives you visual images of all of this. And so the film will move you at an emotional level, I think, in ways that the book is more difficult for the book to do that. So I think it's really beneficial, I've found, after you've seen the film, to read the book. One of the things I like about the book is it's the kind of thing that I can give to my non-Christian friends or neighbors. I have a group of guys that I play basketball with every weekend, and we've been playing for some time. And these are all great guys, but none of them know the Lord. And they often wonder what I do. I tell them I teach ethics and philosophy, and this is a book that would be perfect to hand to these guys that I play basketball with and say, this is what I do, this is what I teach, and have a really nice summary in one place. It's also the kind of thing that a student could give to, a roommate or friend, non-Christian friends on campus, or somebody you could give to, some of your neighbors, or even people you work with. And to say, this is a summary of, what ethics is like for me as a Christian. And then it will invariably raise questions that will eventually get around to the ultimate source for morality being a relationship to God. So it gets you eventually to the gospel message.